Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to make a payable website using only HTML and CSS. As you can see on my computer screen, I have this amazing website which is payable website. As you can see on my left side, I have payable. I have one logo here which is payable. Also, I have this navigation bar, and you can see there's some hover effect on this navigation bar. On my right side, I have two buttons, one for login and one for sign up. You can see on this button there's some hover effect also, and also I have this amazing background image, and I have this title here. Plus I also have two other buttons. As you can see, we have sign up for free. The first button also has some hover effect. So we'll create this website using only HTML and CSS. So before starting this video, make sure you hit the like button and also subscribe to my YouTube channel. So let's start the video. Hello and welcome back again. So here I have created one folder called payable website. Inside this folder, let me just so inside this folder I have created two files, one for my HTML and also one for my CSS. Also I have one more folder for my images, and inside this folder I have one image that I'll be using to create this web page. Now let's open this with our text editor. Now here is my basic HTML. This is my HTML file and I've written the basic HTML. Also here is my CSS. I've written the basic CSS like margin 0, padding 0, also box sizing, border box. Now let's come back to our HTML. Here you can see I have two links from Google Fonts. Also I have this one link, a link tag, which is our CSS that I've connected with our HTML. Now come to the body. Here in the body we'll create one header with a class name main header. Inside this class I'm going to create one more div with a class name container. Inside this div I'm going to add h1 tag and anchor tag, and here I'm going to add a text payable. Now if we save this, now let's go back to our folder and let's open this in our Google Chrome. Now you can see we have this one logo payable. Now come back to your HTML. Next I'm going to create one nav with a class name main nav. Inside this class I'm going to create some UL and li. Also inside my list I've added anchor tag, and let's add a text here. Personal. Now let's just copy this list and let's duplicate it. Duplicate this list. Now let's just change this to business. Next I'm going to change my text also. Request. Now save this and reload the web page. Now you can see we have these menus. Come back to your HTML again. Next I'm going to create one div with a class name account. Sorry, should be account. Inside this div I'm going to create two anchor tags, and also I'm going to add a class btn secondary. For this one I want to add some buttons, so instead of button I'm using anchor tag. Now next here I'm going to add a text login. Let's just duplicate this and I'm going to change my class to btn. Also I'm going to change my text sign up. Now next, at the end of this header I'm going to create one more section with a class name. Sorry. Here I'm going to create one section with a class name hero. Inside this class, I'm going to add h2 tag, and I'm going to add a text. Payable is accepted, and I'm going to add a break line here. And I'm going to say payable is accepted wherever you are. Next, we are going to add paragraph using the p tag. And for this one, I'm going to say at home or across the country. And also I'm going to add a break line. Before break line, let's just add a comma here. And here I'm going to say payable helps you pay securely. Now that's all. Next, we are going to add two buttons. So I'm just going to copy this. Also, I'm going to change this class, and I'm going to change this class also, PTN secondary. Also, we're going to change our text that we have here. For this one, I'm going to say sign up for free. Also, we're going to change our second text, our second button text. We're going to say explore business solutions. Now let's save this and reload our web page. Now you can see we have this our title. Now next what we need is we need to style this. Our website doesn't look amazing, so let's go back to our text editor. Here I'm going to go to my CSS. You can see I've written the basic CSS, margin 0, padding 0, and also I've given box sizing border box. Also, you have seen I've connected my CSS with HTML file. Also, I have these two other links, Google font, that I'll be using in this website. You can also find these Google fonts through this website called Google Fonts. Click the first link. You will find lots of fonts here. You can choose which font you like. After choosing, all you need is just select. After selecting, all you need is choose import, or we can use link as we're doing right now. Just copy this link and paste it in your HTML under the head. Now come back to your CSS. Here I'm going to edit first my anchor tags. For all my anchor tags, I'm going to say color. I'm going to add color inherits. Next, I'm going to say text decoration. Sorry, let's just remove this. I've added some error there. So I'm going to say text decoration to be none. Next, I'm going to say for all my URLs to be list style none. Next is our body. I'm going to add body. For our body, I'm going to say font family. Font family to be open sans. Let's just remove this. We don't need this. Now you might be wondering, where am I getting this open sans? As I said, I have this. My font, Google font, is Open Sans. You can choose which font you want. This based on my opinion. So next, I'm going to say color, and I'm going to add white. Now next, we need to style is our container. Let's copy this class container. For our class container, I'm going to add width 1050 pixel. 1150 pixel. Next, I'm going to say margin 0 auto. Next, I'm going to style my main nav, not my main nav, but my main header. For my main header, I'm going to add width 100%. Next, I'm going to add min width 1150 pixel. Next, I'm going to add height border bottom 1 pixel solid. Also, I'm going to change these colors. Next, I'm going to say position absolute. Next, top 0. Next, copy this class logo. Let's just add one class here, logo. Now copy that class logo. For this class, I'm going to say width 124 pixel. Next, I'm going to say height 70 pixel. Let me just scroll up so that you can see clearly what I'm doing here. So next, I'm going to say float left. Also, I'm going to add background image, background transparent URL. So here I have this URL. I'm going to copy. Don't worry guys, I'm going to give this URL in my video link description so that you can also copy and do what I'm doing here. Now let's just copy this link here. For this one, I'm going to add center to be no repeat. Next, we're going to add background size. That's all. Now next, I'm going to say logo for our anchor tag. Next, for this one, I'm going to say text indent to be negative 999. Next, I'm going to add height. Also, I will say display block. Next, let's copy this class called mainNav. Also, I'm going to say comma. Again, this class with list. For this one, I'm just going to say float left. Next, I'm going to say mainNav, and I'm going to add margin left to be 170 pixel. Now next, I'm going to say still main nav anchor tag. For this one, I'm going to add line height 68 pixel. Also, I'm going to add display block. Also, padding. Also, text transform uppercase. Next, we'll add font size of 14 pixel. And lastly, I'm going to say font weight 700. Now next, I'm going to add some hover effect on this navigation, on these anchor tags. For this one, I'm going to say, I'm just going to add border bottom. So we'll add hover effect over our borders. So for this one, I'm going to say 2 pixel solid white. So whenever we hover, we have this background color which is white. So next is our account. Let's copy this class account. And for this class, I'm going to add, I'm going to say float to be right. Next is we need to edit our button btn. For this one, I'm just going to say display inline block. Next, I will say width 84 pixel. Also height 36 pixel. Next, I will add line height 32 pixel. Next, we'll add border radius. For this one, border radius, I'm just going to say 20 pixel also. Next, we'll add background to be white. Next, I'm going to add color. Sorry, let me just remove one. It should be 3 twos. Next, we'll add is text align to be at the center. Font size 12 pixel. Also, I'm going to add font weight, which is bold. Next, I'm going to add margin left, margin right. (15 pixel). Next, we need to add is border. For this one, I'm going to say 2 pixel solid white. And lastly, transition all 0.2 seconds is. So next is our account, which is btn secondary. For this class, I'm going to add color. Next, I'm going to say background none. Next, we need to add hover effect. For this class, we'll add our button some hover effect. I'm going to add background. Background color. Also, I'm going to add some hover to also to our secondary button. So for this one, I'm going to say btn secondary. Now for this one, I'm just going to say hover. I'm going to add hover and background to be none. Also, I'll say border radius, no border radius. Let's say border color. And for this one, I'm going to say add a color. Next is we need to edit is our class hero. Sorry, I forgot to add hero. Oh, so copy this class. Now for this class, I'm going to add min width, not min height, min width. And for this one, I'm going to say 1150 pixel. Next, we'll add height. Next, I'm going to add background. And I'm going to add a color here. And URL. For this one, we're going to add our background image. So images / hero backend. You can download any images you want, any image you want from pixel.com or from Google. But don't worry, I'm going to provide all of these in my video link description. For this one, I'm going to say center, no repeat. Next, we'll add background size to be cover. Also, I'm going to say text align center. And lastly, overflow hidden. Now let's just say overflow auto. Next is our class hero, and we need to style our h2 tag. Remember, we create this h2 tag. Now for this one, I'm going to say margin top to be 160 pixel. Also, I'm going to add font size 70 pixel. Also, next I'm going to add line height 60 pixel. Next, I'm going to add letter spacing. I'm going to add letter spacing of -2 pixel. Next, we'll add font style. And for my font style, I'm going to say italic. Next, I'm going to add font family. Now for our font family, remember is Open Sans Condense. Now next, and I'm going to add sans serif. So I think we're done for that one. Next, I'm going to edit our hero paragraph. For this one, I'm going to add font size 24 pixel. Also, I'm going to say margin top 30 pixel. Also, we'll add margin bottom to be 30 pixel. Now, if we save this and also save your HTML file, now let's go to our Google Chrome and refresh our web page. Now you can see we have our background image, and also we have our buttons, and also let me just minimize. We have our 2 buttons. Now next, come back to HTML. Now next, I'm going to say hero.btn. Now for this one, I'm going to say display block. Next, width. Next, I'm going to add height 50 pixel. Next, I'm going to add line height of 48 pixel. Border radius. Also, I'm going to add background, and I'm going to add a color here 0070B. Now next I'm going to add color white. Also we're going to say text align to be at the center, and we're going to add font size 15 pixel. Also we are going to add font weight bold. Next we'll add margin. For our margin I'm going to say 0 auto 8 pixel. Next I'm going to add border 2 pixel solid, and I'm going to add color code. Next we'll add transition all 0.2 second is. Now next I'm going to say hero again. Now for this one I'm going to say, instead of btn, I'm going to say btn secondary. Now for this one, for this class, I'm going to add border color to be white. Also next we'll add background none. Next we need to add some hover effect. So for this one I'll add hover, and I'm going to say background, and we'll add a color code. Next one is our hero again, and I'm going to add some hover effect also to our btn secondary. Now for this one I'm going to say border color. Now for this one we'll add color code. Next we'll add background. For my background I want to be none. So now let's save this and reload our web page. Now you can see we have our two buttons. Now for our first button there's no hover effect, so let's just go back. For this one I'm going to change my color. Here we'll say 005 ES6. Now if we save this and reload our web page, now you can see we have some hover effect. You can see the background color is changing whenever we cursor over the button. Also we have our text. Let me just minimize. Now next we have is our, you can see we have our navigation bar. So next is we have issue with our two buttons on the left side. So come back to your CSS. Now let's go to account. So guys, I think our problem is firstly is our logo. Now if we go back to our Google Chrome, you can see our logo. There's something wrong with our logo, and also we said there two buttons. So firstly I'm going to correct our two buttons here that we have login and sign up. Now come back to HTML and we'll go to our class minav. Under our account class, and under this class I'm going, instead of margin right, I'm going to say margin top. Now if we save this, if we save this and reload our web page, now you can see we have our two buttons on the right side, and also there's some hover effect. Next, another issue we have is our logo. So let's go to our logo class. Now here we have our background URL, that's correct. Next is our background size. 12 pixel is too small, so we are going to add up to 124 pixel. And also our logo anchor tag, for this one -999, I'm going to say EM. I'm going to add EM. Now if we save this and go back to our Google Chrome and reload our web page, now you can see our logo and our two buttons on the right side. So guys, I think we have completed for our today's tutorial, and you can see our website is complete. We have our logo, we have our navigation bar, and you can see there's some hover effect whenever I hover each of them. Next is we have our title here. Also we have our paragraph, and lastly we have our two buttons, and you can see there's some hover effect. The first button, whenever I hover, I cursor over the button, you can see the background color changes. Also for our second button, whenever I hover it, you can see the border color changes from gray to white. Now that's all for our today's tutorial. Now if you think this video was very helpful, please hit the like button and also subscribe to my YouTube channel Codemo. Till next time, bye.